Good evening, welcome to another edition, a Sunday edition of Sky Blue Fans TV. Wow, a lot's happened in the last 24 hours. The Sky Blues managed to scrape in the end a 2-2 draw. Well, after dominating the game in the first half, we sort of laid back a little bit in the second half and let them come back into it. Very disappointing. We're going to discuss that with the team. 2 points dropped for me. I'm sure a lot of people will agree. And also, we're going to discuss the transfer merry-go-round, should we say. Ins and outs, how many players we've got coming in, how many we've got coming out. As Ben Sheaf, it looks like he's played his last game for the Sky Blues, as Wrexham put a bid of £6.5 million in, I believe, for the Sky Blues skipper. It looks like he's on his way and he's played his last game. We're going to discuss that first. And then we've got the team, we've got a special guest tonight as well, from the Express, I believe it. Let's bring it in first. Let's bring Claudio. Let's bring the team in. Claudio, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you? All right?
Yeah, I'm great, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, not too bad. I've been watching Premier League football, sort of getting myself ready for next season for when we're playing in the Premier League.
All right. Well, we've got a lot to discuss tonight. A lot of things happening. Jack, good evening.
Good evening.
I seen him yesterday at Oxford. We're happy sort of at half time, but second half, I don't think we were very happy, were we?
No, not so much.
No. And Adam, good evening, Adam.
Good evening, all.
Special guest tonight. And the first time he's been on the show. He's a big Sky Blues fan. You're based in London. And tell me who you work for. Who do you work for? Oh, you've gone mute. We can't hear you, Adam. You've gone mute.
Well, that was weird.
Hello?
Hello. It was fine before.
Well, we lost you.
I turned it off and on again.
That was the powers that be. You're about to mention who you work for. Cut you off.
Yeah, I didn't want to tell you. Tell us about yourself then. I know you're a Sky Blues fan. You're based in London.
Yeah.
What's your job? What's your job then? Just tell us a little bit about you.
I'm technically a senior reporter at the Express. That's a bit of a fancy term.
Okay.
General reporter, so I do whatever they want me to do, basically. Sadly, not sports. I was at the Lionesses Victory Parade the other week, which was good.
Yeah.
But most of the time, it's general stuff. Whatever's happening, I'll be there to cover it, amongst others.
Okay. And how did you become a Sky Blues fan? Through the family?
Through my dad. It's a proper way, isn't it? You support your dad's team. I was born in and he was born in Coventry. He's always supported the Sky Blues. Been going since he was a kid. He used to be a steward at Highfield Road, and he was at the FA Cup final. So, so it was inevitable, really. I was lucky enough that he took me to a couple of games at Highfield Road before it was lost. But I can't remember who it was against. But I was very young, but I do have.
Yeah. Oh, your sound's gone again, Adam. Right, we'll come back to that. We're having a few problems with Adam and his sound. We'll get him sorted out.
Is that any better?
That's better. You keep cutting out and coming back on. I don't know what happened there.
It might have been my headphones. I was just saying, through school, I wasn't really into my football.
Yeah.
And then I got properly into it again. I went to the League Two playoff final with my dad in 2018, was it? And I've been properly into Sky Blue since then. So.
Okay. All right. Okay. Fantastic time to be a Sky Blues fan, of course.
Indeed. The upward trajectory. Well, I was keeping up with the downward trajectory, and I was sad when the double relegation came.
Yeah. Well, there's been plenty of ups and downs over the years. Me and Claudio know that. But anyway, let's get on with it. Let's start with the news that was breaking probably about an hour or so ago about the Sky Blues skipper. This man here, Ben Sheaf. It looks like he's agreed a deal to go to Wrexham for £6.5 million. We bought him, I believe, Jack, for about 750,000, was it? Yeah,
we think so. It was definitely less than $1 million, but yeah.
So, I mean, for me, I'm disappointed. I mean, he's a good player. There's no doubt about that. Ben, he's been a great player for us. But for me, the problem with Ben Sheaf is in the amount of games he plays, and he seems to be on the injury bed, more than he's playing. That's the problem, and we need him out there. And certainly the last couple of seasons, he's had a few bad injuries, and we've missed him. And if the club spend the money wisely and bring somebody else in to replace him, I think that's a good deal. If they don't, then obviously people will be asking questions about whether the squad's going to be even lighter. So let's discuss that now. We're going to have plenty. We've got plenty of comments, Claudio, haven't we, about this?
Yeah, I'll read the comments out first.
Yeah, because let's see what they have to say, because it's just breaking news. This is obviously.
Steve Gardner says, "Can you hear me loud and clear?" By the way, Steve Gardner says, "Captain Ben Sheaf leaving for Wrexham in a 6.5 million deal," and he says, "Will we bring another midfield player to replace him?" Fordy, I don't think we will replace Sheaf, but effectively we now need a centre mid alongside a CB and a forward. Also, Gavster Legrand says, it's our defence that needs replacing. Get a solid defence and we'll romp the league. Paul Stratton thinks 24 hours to go. Think we'll be lucky if we sign one. To leave it this late to add to the squad was obviously never on the agenda. I think it's always the way with the transfer window. It's never done. A lot of the stuff is done in the last 48 hours.
Yeah.
Uncle Jonga, pocket the money for Sheaf, and he's too injury prone in the final year of his contract. But if he goes, we need players in on top of what everyone has always said. And he also adds, was impressed with Will Lancashire yesterday. He's exactly what we need up front this season. Physical, powerful, brave and quick. And 20 years old. And
we'll discuss that game in a bit.
Paul Stratton, we all know what's needed, but money has gone rightly on the stadium. However, squad not strong enough to get us to the top 6, but the money for the stadium is totally different to the money we can spend on the players. It's that's what Kieran Maguire explained. Rich T. Oh, I think you know Rich T, don't you, Adam? Well, last 24 hours of the transfer window will be interesting. After considering yesterday's performance again, after initial disappointment, we are moving forward. Just need to sort the defence. Trust in Frank and Doug. Gavster Legrand says, Rich T, exactement. There's a bit of French there from Gavster Legrand. I don't know if he is French. Oasis 418. Yet again, poor goalkeeping, poor defence, and we seem to have the intellectual capital of a bunch of kids. Just poor overall. Silly mistakes are becoming a joke. Selling Sheaf is awesome for that price. It feels like we've robbed Wrexham. It is a bit of cash, isn't it, that we didn't expect.
Well, as I said, as long as we spend it, that's the problem. We don't want to just bank it and not get anybody in. There's no point, is there?
Martin Bishop, that's not going to happen. Martin Bishop, with Sheaf going, let's hope we have some replacements lined up. Fans need to realise Bobby Thomas is a liability, consistently poor, error-prone, and frankly, just not good enough. Do we need a defensive coach, says Gavster Legrand. Uncle Jonga, Sims needs to start earning his 25k a week. Dave Sports Photos. Now, let's see what Dave says. What is the point of Jamie Allen? He should be loving life as a regular starter in League Two. What's he doing here apart from maybe doing a fashion shoot for the season's green substitutes bib? Do we have a head of recruitment, says Paul Stratter? Well, we do, Dean Austin.
Yeah.
Nick from Birmingham. It's all looking very positive, isn't it, Ducky? Do you think Clive? Sorry, wrong show. Uncle Jonga said Bassette and Sheaf likely going. Well, yes, I think Bassette is on about Stade de Reims, I think I think that's where he may be going. Cliche man, and a bit of a cliche. Our season will not be defined by Oxford away. We will take the point and move on. There are no easy games in this league. If we can't win, make sure you don't lose. Super fan number 1 says, Chris said Lampard was sending Doug a message by not playing any subs, telling him they're not good enough. Does Chris honestly think that's the level of communication between Frank and Doug? Behave. Behave, Chris. Behave yourself. That's Mad Frankie's going to get involved. So, right then, we'll read this one out and we can discuss what we think about Ben Sheaf. Paul Cutterford says, I'll get it up. Logic tells us to let Sheaf go, By now, he must be second or third choice, and with his injury record, maybe a new club will suit him. Thanks, Ben. You were great a year or so ago.
Okay, well, let's discuss it then. I mean, I'll tell you what I think about Ben Sheaf. I think he's been a fabulous servant for the club. He's played some great games for. He's a good player. We all know that. There's no doubt about his ability. But my biggest concern is his injuries. Don't play enough games. And I think if we can get $6.5 million for him at this stage with a year left on his contract, is a good deal all round, providing we get somebody in to replace him. That's my view. Claudia, your view on Ben Sheaf?
My view on Ben Sheaf. Firstly, like I said, a great servant. He wasn't very popular when he first arrived. If you remember, he got a lot of flack for holding the ball too long when we were in League One. He was getting caught in possession, and he struggled to find any kind of grip, basically, on the league itself. And eventually, he came good, and he was a huge popular character at the club and very important to the team. The problem with Ben is, it seems that every pre-season he just got injured as soon as he started the season. And it happened too often the last 2 or 3 years, or got injured very quickly after the season started, and then he was out for a few games. And I think the money we're getting for him, $6.5 million. I mean, he's going to go because obviously he's going to be offered so much money at Wrexham, and it's a good move for him. No, I don't think. I mean, you've got to think what he's going to get as well as a sign-on fees and all the rest of it. It's a great move for Ben, really, and it's a good move for us. It's a positive thing, I think, overall. And also, at the start of the season, when they had CWR had that forum at the studio, and I put the question to Oggy and whoever else was on the panel, and I said, I actually felt that the Grimes and Sheaf combination isn't working. It didn't suit what Frank Lampard wants to do. And I've no idea that 2 days later, whenever it was, 3 days later, first team sheet, talk starts ahead of Sheaf. Yet the day before, Sheaf was doing interviews as the club captain. And I think that surprised a lot of people. But I kind of thought, well, no, not really, because Torp is the perfect foil for Grimes in the system we play now. And I don't think there's room for Sheaf in that team at the minute. So $6.5 million for a player who's basically keeping the bench warm at the minute. And even if he was fully fit, he's not going to be ahead of Torp at the moment, because look what Torp gives you now. He gives you goals for a start. So I think it's a really good bit of business for us. $6.5 million, year of his contract left, on a player who has a lot of games out with injuries, and takes a long time to recover as well. So I think it's a good bit of business.
Well, I tend to agree.
Bring players in. If we don't, then it's shocking, basically, and you have to question what we're doing behind the scenes. Because I'm not going to say it's going to be a Kevin Keegan moment where I don't know if Jack and Adam are too young, where they sold Andy Cole and he had to front the Newcastle fans on the steps of St James's Park and saying, "Don't worry, it's going to be okay." You remember that, Ken, don't you?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
But fans are going to question. Okay, we bought the stadium, best signing in 20 years. That's done and dusted now. This is different. And I think he's gone. We need to get players in. We do need better players on the bench as well. So that's my thoughts on it.
I mean, if we go and replace with even better player than Ben Sheaf, we'll be all delighted. But I'm sure Frank's got something lined up. I'm sure he has. And I cannot see him letting Ben Sheaf go at this stage of the season, literally 24 hours before the transfer deadline, without having somebody lined up to come in. I just can't see it. Jack, what's your view on the Ben Sheaf situation?
I think it's good business, to be honest. Some people want more. Some people think it's a fantastic fee that we're letting him go for. In all honesty, for a man who, like Claudia said, is a bench warmer, he's not a first choice midfielder at a championship club anymore. He might be at Wrexham, but not for us. $6.5 million is great for a year left on his contract as well. That's the main thing. If this was Sisu, he'd have either been flogged for 50p or ran out of contract at the end of the year and off he goes. He wasn't going to sign a new contract with us because he was falling out of favour. He has been essentially replaced by Matty Grimes, and with his injury record, he's got no way of forcing his way back into the squad unless Grimes or Torp go down injured. So I think it's great. And I'll be honest, I don't necessarily think we'll get a centre midfielder in, because in theory, Sheaf going, but with the addition of Kai Andrews to the squad, who's never really been involved in the squad before, you know, Frank Lampard spoke very, very highly of Kai, even in January last year when we sent him out on loan to Motherwell. Maybe this was the plan. Send Kai Andrews out, get some experience, get Matty Grimes in the door as the immediate effect. And then if, you know, we're all thinking that it could be Allen that goes, maybe Eccles. But from the cameo we saw of Eccles at the Stadium of Light, I think Eccles was brilliant, to be honest. And from what I've seen of Sheaf in the last year, it really hasn't excited me. So, I like I say, I don't necessarily think we'll replace him, because Andrews is the natural replacement. We've got Allen, Eccles. That's 3 players that we have in the central midfield that aren't starting games, that are going to be available off the bench. Yes,
Raphael as well, who's coming, hasn't he? Raphael,
well, winger, that's a different position. My only worry is the cover for, let's say, Jack Radoni in that midfield, because yes, Torp will go in there if Radoni's unfit, but then what if they're both unfit at the same time, or yellow cards comes into the mix? That's when the problem is. I know Andrews played there the other night, didn't exactly perform brilliantly, was actually better on the left, out of position week before. So I don't necessarily see someone else coming in that midfield, to be honest, in the next 24 hours. I would much rather go and get 2 centre halves than 1 centre half and a centre midfielder, or maybe another attacking player, whether that be a striker, a winger, or someone that can do both. I'd actually be more interested in that than a direct Sheaf replacement, personally.
Yeah, well, I'd be interested to see what happens. There's only 24 hours to go, of course. Adam Charles, good evening. What's your views on the Ben Sheaf scenario? How do you feel?
It's good business, isn't it? It's a no-brainer. It's good for the player. It's good for us. He was good at the FA semi-final. He was brilliant, wasn't he? But ever since he had that big injury, he's not been the same player. As Jack mentioned.
Oh, we're frozen with Adam at the moment. Is he coming back? You're back.
Am I still here?
Yeah, he's just frozen a little bit there, mate. Go on.
Even if he's not playing for Wrexham, he'll have great experience in the dressing room, and he was our captain, so he's got some leadership qualities, obviously. Yeah. But yes, he would just be on the bench here, wouldn't he? And I think the truth is that we're better without him, because Torp has come on leaps and bounds. I mean, I've always rated Torp, and I'm so glad that he's firmly established his place in our starting 11. When Sheaf and Grimes were playing together, it's just too negative all round the passing, and it wasn't as quick. And Torp, he's got his free kicks and his quality on the ball. Some of the passes he does is brilliant. His movement is great. Obviously, him and Jack were.
Oh, we've lost him again.
Not having much luck tonight, are we?
Still there, Adam? No. Right, we've lost.
I'll blame the Mayor of London. It's the Mayor of London. Blame him. He gets the blame for everything at the minute.
We're losing the sound with Adam, so we'll come back to him. Any more comments, Claudio? And see if we can get some more comments while we're waiting.
Right. So these are comments in general. I'll read these out. Oxford are a very poor team. We always struggle against the poorer teams in the division. Well, we put 7 past QPR. They're not very good. I just don't think very good away from home. Uncle Jonga, Wrexham spending money like drunken sailors. Yes, Claudio, says Jonah Fat Cat in Bermuda, cruising round the American seas. I'm trying to think where it'd be. The Caribbean, I suppose.
Kit?
Yeah, he loves my kit. I got this one on, especially for Miles.
Oh, you've got this. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not on. I wear what I want. Anthony Petrovich turned into Napoleon today, hasn't he? Points dropped at Oxford, naive defending. Wayne Littlewood, even all.
Good first half. Back his holidays.
Wayne was absolutely eulogising over the first half. He was really happy. Even all, good first half, still some comical errors as always. Second half was just absurd. And yet again, it's the same things. Defensively poor and sorry, but Rushworth is extremely error prone. Wayne Ghost says, good luck to Ben. I wouldn't be disappointed if we get Sam Raksaki on loan, at least until January. And Wayne Littlewood says, if we do not get anyone else in and put aside the CBS sale, would you consider this a poor transfer window? I don't normally swear, but it's absolutely crap. If we don't get anybody else in, let's not beat around the bush. Basically, Adam can't tell us what he does. He will have to kill us all.
No comment.
I'm surprised anybody buys Express nowadays. Even all, can we discuss the worrying signs of us with guaranteed to concede from set pieces and also Rushworth for that equaliser? Like the QPR game, he makes similar mistakes to Collins. Hadji looks like a new player. Let's hope this form continues, says Wayne Littlewood. Mark Packman, good evening all. It would be nice to get Charlie Hughes. Now we have just sold Ben Sheaf. Good move, I think, for Coventry. Charlie Hughes is England material. Ian Courts, do Sheffield United still owe us money from the Hamer deal?
I'm not sure. But I wouldn't mind Hamer back.
No one knows, do they? Onyx Freights, yes, we can't turn that money down for Sheaf, but my worry is that leaves us without a suitable backup for injury. We have Kai, but he's a bit of the off place at the minute.
I read somewhere that Hamer was available for 15 million loan to buy.
That's what I heard, and I heard he's available for loan as well. So even loan him with a view to
with the Sheaf money. Why not?
We should do some sort of fun sharing thing.
Yeah.
Jonah Fat Cat, farewell Sheaf. Can't wait to see what his fee is parlayed into tomorrow. You can tell he's in the Caribbean seas. He's now talking like a pirate. Is Jonah Fat Cat parlayed? Pagagon hearing offer for Wright made by Sporting CP, another 20 million. I'll take 20 million for him.
You would? Not on transfer.
It's interesting because Derby have just signed Berendsen Diaz, and I'm thinking, how are they, when a couple of years ago we're getting done over for points deductions and
financial,
and now they're signing players like they're going out of fashion again. Adam's frozen. I think Adam needs to refresh. I think. Wayne Littlewood, disappointed to drop 2 points against a really poor team. These are the results we have to put to bed. Also, Frank Lampard was far too late with subs. Some players looked knackered after 60 minutes. Hackey looked knackered after 60 minutes. That's the fourth game of the season. It's a flipping joke. Beer Can, Brentford want Torp. Anyone know any news on this? I've not heard anything.
Hopefully not. Yeah, we don't. What we don't want to do is lose any more players. We can't afford to lose anymore. We want more people in.
Fordy says, good money for Sheaf with a year left and lots of injuries on his record, but we have to replace him. Our bench is getting smaller by the day. Ian Small. Looks like Wolfenden is completed. Rack's saying another possibility. Exciting day tomorrow. Good luck, Ben. Good deal for both parties. Good business to sell. Question, have Sheffield United paid full for Hamer? This is the issue, isn't it? On the where's Miles of Smiles tonight? Well, Miles having a night off.
He's having a night off. Bless him. He's been working hard. I think he's been DJing over the weekend, so he's putting his feet up. He'll be watching though.
He was DJing in the rain yesterday afternoon. Poor fella.
Well, we were watching Sky Blues in the rain as well.
It still wouldn't dampen his spirits. Sky Blue Army, just hope he passes the medical. He'll probably twist his ankle on the way to the flipping medical. It'd be great, wouldn't it? But we'll probably twist an ankle stepping out of his car. I should have read the comment, shouldn't I? Apparently, we're after the Ipswich defender, but rumours are that. Rumours, says Trevor Merriman. Well, this is interesting because we've always said you don't get a lot out of our club. No one saw this with Ben Sheaf, did they?
No, that's a complete surprise.
Every window before this window, there's always been talk about Ben Sheaf going. The first time we don't mention Ben Sheaf going, he's gone.
Yeah,
I swear the club start the rumours.
Adam, you back with us? Yes, can hear you now.
Refresh. Is that any better?
That's a little bit. That's a lot better. Yeah. I was going to say, just your quick version on Ben Sheaf. What would you do with the money then? Would you get somebody in, or would you put it towards a defender?
We need a central half, don't we? We need to. I mean, Hull clearly value Charlie Hughes. Is it about 15 million they value him at, according to the
Yeah,
rumours?
that
So
might
surely
be.
we have enough money now, surely, to go in for 15 million for him. That'll be a statement as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'd be doubling our record transfer fee for a centre back, which is a bit surprising.
Yeah, well, it is actually, because we don't tend to spend a lot of money on defenders, do we? It's normally the strikers that we spend the money on, but we do need one, obviously. Okay, shall we move on away from Ben Sheaf? Let's move what last. We'll come back with a bit of transfer bits and bobs later on. We've got to discuss that Oxford game yesterday. Claudio, you had an after show, didn't you, after the match?
Yeah.
What were the feelings then? I mean, I was obviously stuck in a car park in Oxford, so I didn't hear it.
It's one of those games, Ken, that had the halves been reversed, we're probably all a bit more chipper.
Yeah.
After the game, but because we started so well, and I'm watching the game and I'm thinking, we've got this wrapped up. This is, we get the early goal, and I've got to say, when you watch the move back, it's a really good move. Throughout 3 or 4 players moving it quick. We've said this so many times now. They move it quick. Jack Rodoni, I mean, I can't.
I thought he was sensational yesterday. First half, I thought he was brilliant.
This time next year, we're going to struggle to keep hold of him if he's on this trajectory, basically, and we could get big money for him. But I thought he's ball into the box, and actually, right, Fox in the box, wasn't he? There, he turned really well. Interestingly, that the turn for the goal that he scored was similar to the turn that the Fulham player did against Chelsea, and that they had that disallowed because of VAR. Because the goal that Hadji scores, there's a bit of collision with the player as he turned, and he put it away. We get a goal. The Fulham match, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous that the goal disallowed. Anyway, I thought he took it brilliantly. And it was a really, really solid first half. And then, yet again, stupidity comes in. And it's so annoying because I find that we work...
It was a silly free kick to give away, wasn't it?
Well, it is. But we work really hard to get in front. And then to do a daft foul, and there's no need. There's no need to do it. And then when they actually score, the ball, it sort of bounces in front of Rushworth. He doesn't do that well. It comes off his chest. I mean, Frank made a bit of an excuse about more players were going in for the rebound. That's the kind of thing that happens. No, their play got there first. Why aren't we reacting as quick? And thinking there might be a rebound. The reaction wasn't quick enough. And of course they scored. And then, we get our noses in front with a sensational free kick from Torp.
Yeah.
Is exactly what we know he can do from the very first game he played. He's got that in him.
Yeah.
I mean, Lucas said when we signed him, he says, you want to see his footage, the amount of goals he scored from outside the box. It's ridiculous. And I know he was playing like whichever league it was at the time. But that first half, apart from that little mishap, was a really good first half. MVE should have scored. EMC should have scored. Anybody else with 3 letters in his name should have scored. Everybody should have scored. We're so on top. It was like the QPR game, but without the 5 goals, basically.
Yeah. I think we should have been at least 3-0 up.
Yeah. So what happens is, if you have that as your second half, if you had the second half performance first, we'd have gone, that's a really crap second half, and we'll come into that in a minute, and ended on a high with our first half performance. You're thinking, okay, a bit of a blip in the first half, didn't get going, but we were so dominant in the first half, we had to come out then and kill the game.
Yeah.
No doubt we'll discuss it. We just didn't.
No.
So that was the feeling on our podcast last night, basically.
Yeah, and I think that was most of the feeling.
I mean, you and Jack were there. You probably
fans in the stadium. I mean, we've got to show you this goal though. But that was fantastic. And Jack, I mean, I've seen you at the game. I was quite confident we'd get 3 points at the start of the game.
Who wasn't?
And I was at half time, to be honest, but it didn't quite work out that way, did it?
Yeah, I mean, at half time, I remember having a quick chat to you, or spoke to my dad. I just said, we're going to romp this. We're just going to romp home, because we were so good. And you didn't see us getting worse. And I mean, I'm not necessarily saying we got worse. Oxford up with the intensity and we pooed ourselves. So Yeah, I just how we didn't score more. I mean, we had the ball in the net 4 times in the first half. 2 were offside.
Yeah,
probably correct. I haven't seen them back, but there seems to be no complaints about them. Even Oxford had the ball in the net from an offside at one point. So, and then Hadji could have scored right at the end. So with another 4 goals, that would have been the third 8-goal thriller in a row, which would have been nice.
Yeah.
No, yeah, just we were fantastic. We just really were. There was. Other than giving away a free kick, I'll be honest, in the moment, I wasn't even sure that was a free kick that Bobby gave away. But
no, it was a bit
interesting
middle with his elbow, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get a full glimpse of it, but from what I did, like I said, it didn't feel like a free kick. But 4 weeks ago, we were all talking about let's get Charlie Hughes in. He'll play alongside Bobby.
Yeah.
I think if we get Charlie Hughes in, he'll replace Bobby at the moment. I think Liam Kitchen has come on leaps and bounds. His passing and his runs forward are brilliant. Bobby's disappointing at the moment. So he gave away both free kicks and then turned in the wall to let the ball past him. Picked up a yellow card.
We'll discuss that goal because a lot of people are blaming the goalkeeper, but I don't know, but defender as well, maybe as well. But we missed chances in that first half as well, though, didn't we? We had good chances.
Yeah, but I mean, with the missed chances, you're always going to miss chances. The fact that we scored 2 should be enough. That's the problem. We scored 2 away from home. You expect, I mean, we got a point. You expect at least a point. But you need to be, one of those 2, all right, we've made a mistake, 1 goes in, but not both. We will, if that's going to happen, there'll be games in the season that we don't manage to score, as we saw against Hull, and that we will need to keep a clean sheet. And at the moment, we just can't keep a clean sheet. The reserves did against Luton, but that's the main thing. It's coming back. We need to sort the defence out.
Yeah.
It's been the same for seasons now, hasn't it?
Yeah, Adam, what was your views on that first half then? Because I just thought we were fantastic, really. I thought we were dominant, but I mean, and I couldn't see us losing that game, but we ended up dropping points.
We played how.
I think your sound's gone again, Adam.
Sound's gone again. Hello? Oh, well, right. We'll come back to Adam because he's still having problems with his sound, I think. He might have to refresh again. I don't know if it's disconnected. Claudio, let's move on to the second half then. The second half was not quite as planned, was it?
It was weird, wasn't it? Because we started and it just didn't look right from the start. It was just strange. And it looked very typical of every... I'll say 75% of our away performances from last season, of which most of those I went to that we lost, basically, or we didn't win. I only saw one on the road last season. And it was very laboured. And also, they obviously couldn't play through us in the first half. We totally dominated.
Yeah.
So in the second half, Gary Rowett tactics where it goes long. It's quite direct. It's quite quick. He tries to avoid the midfield, get it up to the guy up front who's got pace and causes a bit of trouble. And the wingers join in, and we were all over the place. And what happens is the 2 wide defenders are still. Frank plays a formation that is basically based on attack, which means when it breaks down, you are open at the back. That means I've said it plenty of times on here. Your 2 central defenders have got to be really good at covering. And I felt at times that second half, we were all over the place and way too, I mean, the word is expansive, isn't it? There's so much room in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
And we weren't getting hold of it. And I was watching it thinking, Torp has now turned into the Torp we've seen away from home last season in some games, where it just disappears. He wasn't getting on the ball. And Grimes was, he looked shattered because he was covering too much ground, I thought. And he shouldn't be covering all that ground. That's not his job. So I just felt the 2 wide players should have tucked in a bit. We should just, we're 2-1 up. I wouldn't say kill the game straight away, but play more conservative. But I don't think Frank's got it in him to do that. I think he just wants us to keep trying to score goals. But unlike when we played Derby, where it looked like we could score every time we went forward, It didn't look like that in the second half, like it did in the first half. Oxford totally. It was a bit similar to last season's game in the end, wasn't it? Where we managed to sneak the win at the end, whereas we didn't this time. But it was just a shame because all you then remember is the second half performance. You kind of get you leave the game thinking about the second half, where it was actually not a bad performance overall.
Yeah.
But your lasting memory is that second half, and you're thinking, "Oh, I don't want to see that again." We've got 3 massive games coming up soon. You know, if we play like that second half against Leicester, well, Norwich, Leicester, and Blues, we ain't getting more than 2 points out of that lot. You know.
Do you think he should have made more of the subs? I mean, Tats came on, didn't he? I thought he done brilliant for that cross right at the end for Hadji when he hit the bar. But should he have used the subs a bit more, maybe, or not?
I thought what he said to Rob Gurney was weird when he said about, "You don't know what I know. He's been nursing a groin injury, just got back in training, but he's on the bench." You know, when's he going to come on the pitch then? He could have come on early if there was a problem. Surely, if somebody got injured, what's he going to do? Not put him on at all?
Yeah.
This is a game where it was there for the taking, and I didn't realise it was that late when he brought him on. Actually,
well, we kept looking at the bench. I thought he's got to make a change soon because we could see Oxford were getting back into the game, so he needed fresh legs.
I've said this before. People say in Frank we trust, but that's the sort of manoeuvre Mark Robbins used to do that used to get criticised about.
Yeah.
It's almost like he didn't know what to do. They brought on 3 subs, and it just livened it up a bit. And not only that, I think we mentioned this at Norwich away last season, where why didn't he bring on subs just to break it up a bit? Because they were well on top. And I think sometimes you need to bring. I know there's so many times you can bring subs on, but I think you need to bring them on sometimes just to break the game up.
Yeah.
And I don't think we didn't use the brains at all in that second half. I thought the coaching wasn't very good. We didn't manage the game in the second half very good. Liam and Bobby have still got too many mistakes, and they don't organise. There's nobody on that pitch that organises when we're in trouble. That's what I see. It's great when it's going well, but when we're in trouble, I don't see anybody going, "You go there, you go there, you come in here, you do this, you do that." And I think that's
what we're missing a player like Fads, isn't we, for that sort of.
And that's why we're getting done at set pieces, because we've got Jim Brown mentioned this to me during the week. So if you look, you can't just blame the defence. We've got 11 players in the box for set pieces, and they're all stood there like statues and react in seconds. So something needs to change. So, I don't know what they're doing in coaching, what they're doing. Mind if they're defending against some of our forwards, and I suppose,
Well, yeah, it's true. But yeah, it was disappointing. Definitely 100% 2 points dropped. There's no doubt about that. Because with all due respect to Oxford, I was chatting to an Oxford guy on the way back to the car, and he said he was delighted with the point. He says, first half, I thought you were going to get another 7. I thought it's going to be another hammer in here. He said he couldn't believe the second half. He says, well, it was playing well, or you dropped off a bit. He says, whatever it was, we'll take it, because I was delighted with the point, but that he didn't expect at half time. So
it's almost like the belief went out the window, didn't it, in that second half? Everything they've done against Derby in their second half of that game, the whole of the QPR game by the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
After the first half yesterday, the second half was like, who's this team? Who's just come out the second half?
Yeah.
We look like Sheffield United.
Oh yeah, they're not doing well. Okay, Jack. Second half, not good, was it, mate? To be honest.
No, what we needed, I know Claudio said we needed like substitutions to break it up when we were on top. What we needed was for Carl Rushworth to fake an injury like loads of other goalkeepers do, and we'll have a little 5-minute rest and recovery break to completely stop their momentum.
Well, all the other teams do that, so why don't we? Yeah.
To be fair, I don't think I've seen one yet this season, but it's early doors. That was lackluster. I'm not going to say disappointing, because we weren't bad. We weren't sloppy. We weren't giving the ball away. Oxford put some pressure on us, and we invited it on, and then they carried on. And like I say, I don't think we were particularly bad. We just let them take control of the game. We had control of the game.
Yeah.
It's not the most intimidating place. It's got 3 ends and 11,000 people there. No offence to Oxford. That's what they've got. That's what they're dealing with. And they're in the Championship. Fair play to them. It probably still holds more than Bournemouth. But, of a game of... We were winning at half-time. We should not be letting that slide away at Oxford. We've all tipped them to be down there this year. I still think they will be. They can clearly score a couple of goals, both from set pieces. That's 8 out of 8 we've conceded now from set pieces. So, same old.
What was your view of the free kick? Would you blame the goalkeeper for that free kick? Or are you going to blame Bobby Thomas for sort of getting out of the way?
Both. I mean, the Oxford player moved the ball about a foot.
Yeah. Well, I'm amazed nobody noticed that.
Well, that's the problem. Fair play for trying it, because part of football is almost try what you can, get away with it. That's what most of the fouls are. You try and get away with something. Some refs let it slide, some don't see it, some penalise you for it. So the worst that would have happened is they'd have moved the ball back.
Yeah.
So fair play for him for trying it. The fact that nobody noticed is the bad thing.
Yeah.
The wall was clearly not positioned correct. Even, I know Bobby turned away a bit, but had he been another foot over, that it would have still hit him. And then I know Rushworth's unsighted, but could he have saved it? Was he just a bit slow getting there?
The view from where we were, the people around me were, yes, they were definitely blaming the keeper. But, I mean, I had to look at it again, and when I look at it again, it's sort of a bit of both, really. But you'd expect your goalkeeper to have that covered, wouldn't you?
Maybe not, because it's the wall side. Goalkeepers have one side, the wall has the other, and if you get beat over the wall, you get beat over the wall, like Torp, for example.
Yeah.
But it's Rushworth's fault in the fact that he needs to organise the wall. That's his job.
Yeah.
It's your job as a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And he didn't do that.
I've watched it back, and he seems to be bouncing on his feet a bit when Branigan struck the ball, and then he didn't have time to go over to the other side where it was.
Yeah, that's right. He was too far away from it, weren't he, in the end?
There was a keeper in the Premier League who did it a few games ago, where he was bouncing up and down, and he just didn't have enough time to go to the ball.
Yeah. And that's what cost us in the end. Great chance for Hadji right at the death, weren't it, Jack, as well?
Yeah, Sakamoto on the ball, you just think he's got to create something here, and he does. He dances round the two defenders. Hadji did the exact same thing he did against QPR. He just held back. He let Efron and Sante take the players forwards towards the keeper. He just held back. And you're thinking, Tats was bang in line with us, wasn't he, Ken? Pretty much. You could just see what was going to happen. You could see the pass. Before it happened, you could see the pass. You could see Hadji running up. And I was there, and then it struck the bar.
I was halfway off. Oh.
Come on. I know everyone has a downside. I know he scored a goal already in the game. If he scores one a game, 46 is unbelievable for a scoreline. But this is what makes you from a good striker to a brilliant striker, is clearing that up and winning us 3 points with 1 minute to go.
Yeah.
The way he strikes the ball, Hadji, is very strange. It's almost lazy, where it's very nonchalant, isn't it? Where he just has a swing.
Very laid back, isn't he?
Yeah, and with that one, he leaned back a bit, I think, and a bit too much, and it hit the bar. But it's almost in slow motion when he gets the ball and he has a swing at it.
It's like he hit it too well, to be honest. If he'd have scuffed it like the first one, it'd probably gone in.
Yeah. The first one, I think the keeper should have saved.
Yeah, because he hit it really hard, that other chance. But the first one, he hit it, but it wasn't clean, was it?
No.
There's so many goals you see go in that aren't cleanly hit nowadays. I don't know why.
Well, we can hear you nice and clear now, Adam.
I've tried different Wi-Fi combinations.
Oh, that's not clearer now.
Good.
Do you think Frank should have made a few substitutes in the second half there to change it about when we were under pressure?
I think. People were saying about 65 minutes, weren't they? But he's wasted until about 80 minutes to make changes so far. I wouldn't have minded seeing Raphael on a bit earlier. Did he come on in second? I can't remember.
No, he didn't. That was only one sub, wasn't there?
Second. I don't know. The way we play is just a bit predictable at the moment, isn't it? It's great when it works. We take it down the wings and then either pull it back or cross it in, and teams know that we're going to do that. It might be a bit better to go through the middle a little bit more and just a bit more variety going forward. The first half, we were brilliant. We were playing as well as we know we can play, because we've got quality on the pitch and the players can play together. And when we played QPR, we just tore them apart. So The first half, we played like we know we can play. And the second half, it's just immaturity, isn't it? It's a lack of ruthlessness. It's just falling apart. And it's the same problems that have played seasons now, whereby we are prone to defensive blunders. Strikers can't finish their dinner. It's just familiar problems that are coming up and up again.
Yeah. So it's definitely 2 points drop there, wasn't it, really? Because those sort of teams, with all due respect to Oxford, you've got to be beating it. Because at the end of the season, when you look at it, we could be 2 points short of getting in the playoffs.
Obviously, I couldn't watch it in person, and it wasn't broadcast on TV, so I had the score on my phone as I was in the pub with some mates on Saturday, and when we scored and conceded, my mood dipped and went up.
Yeah, it's very much like that in the ground as well. We had some like swirling rain. I mean, Jack was all right because he's a bit further up than me, but I was getting all the.
I still got it. Well, because it was coming in sideways. Like I said, they don't have a fourth stand.
Because that stand's not there. It's coming in across the car park. Of course, there's no stand there. So it's all coming in and hitting all where the away fans were.
Speaking of the car park, from a couple of their shops, it wasn't your car that was damaged, was it, Ken?
No, it wasn't. I was parked right in the bowling alley bit at the back. We got stuck in there for about 45, well, probably nearly an hour after the match before we started moving, unfortunately. But luckily I was parked well away. They must lose a lot of footballs in that ground, no matter how times it goes over.
We have our ball back.
I'm so just surprised they've got no netting or something up there to stop it, to stop it going over. It's unbelievable, really. But there you go.
The one thing I will say though is we've not conceded from open play all season. So you kind of think...
Yeah, but we've conceded 10 goals, Claudio.
I know, but what I'm saying is from open play, it looks like we're finally sorting that bit out.
Yeah.
Which is incredible, really. And we had 41 touches in their box yesterday. Now, everything, when you look at the stats, it's ridiculous. How I think they didn't even make 20 touches in our box, yet they managed to score 2 goals, which both scored from, well, I know one was inside the box, but the shots came from outside. So I think because we're pressing so high and we're pushing forward, we are keeping teams away from our goal in open play, which reduces them the chances, basically. But in saying that, there are times we do look like we're getting overrun, and somehow we've managed to get away with it and concede a corner, or they've had a weak shot or something. But that's a positive that it's just some organisation, isn't it? That's what it's down to.
We did break the championship record, didn't we, for goals, didn't we? Is that right?
We just needed 2 this game. Yeah, we've broken it.
There we go. Yeah. 14 number of goals scored so far this season. Record. So there you go. It just shows
we've had a 0-0 as well, which is even funnier.
Well, that makes it even more strange, doesn't it, when your first game's 0-0? Yeah.
But I think we all thought we would break that record.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all did. I think we all produced at least 2 goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised at the outcome. When they equalised the first time, I'm kind of not surprised. And when they got the second free kick, I just knew. I mean, Oggy, because I've got the commentary. It was Oggy going. They need to move over. It's a bit like trying to think the Brian Moore when Koeman had the free kick against Seaman, and he kept saying he's going to chip one. He's going to chip one here. He's going to chip one, and he chipped him. And Oggy was going, they need to move over. They need to move over. There's a space. And he put it straight there. It was so obvious where it was going.
Yeah.
And I think that's a naivety. And Adam says immaturity. It is. It's basically not having an older head. Thomas should have shuffled across. It's responsibility. You're on the pitch. I've played Sunday morning football, Saturday football, whatever. You just shuffle along. You don't want to shuffle along because you're probably going to get a ball in the knackers or something. But you shuffle. What you don't do is turn side on like that. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. You're a big, ugly centre half.
Yeah, when I seen you back on the telly, I thought, God, I didn't realise he was that bad when he turned away. I was playing.
Behind the goal, it looks really bad, doesn't it? It's virtually he's gone like that. He's gone from that to that, basically. Yeah. And that's the angle. He stands firm. It might hit him here, might hit him whatever. It's not going in, is it?
No.
I'm still confident. If we get those faults ironed out, it's obviously tricky and it will involve a lot of conversations on the training field. But the stuff we play is just incredible.
It'll involve another centre back, not Bobby Thomas, unfortunately, at the moment.
We need to sort it out.
Some of the stuff we play so far has been great to watch. Absolutely, it's been great to watch. But it's frustrating if you're a forward or an attacking midfielder and you've done all your little fancy passes, this and you've scored a great goal. For 5 minutes later to see a lazy goal go in like that, you think, oh my God. I remember way back in the day, and I was captain of one of the hockey teams, and we had a kid in goal. He was only young, and to be honest, he was useless. But you give him a chance. We realised we had to score at least 4 goals every game, else we weren't going to win. And in the end, we couldn't put up with it anymore. We went, I'm going to have to tell his parents he ain't good enough. Or, you know what I mean? It's just like...
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Sometimes you can't be scoring 4 goals a game, 3 goals a game. And we had this last season as well.
Yeah.
You need to learn to win games 2-1. That game at half-time should have been done and dusted, even at 2-1, and just bore the hell out of it if need be. You don't need to
kill the game.
Kill it off.
Get the points in the bag and thank you very much. That's it. That's all you need.
And the problem is at 2-2, we're Cov fans. We're thinking, oh no, please.
We could lose it completely, yeah.
Well, yeah, because you just know there's another mistake. Every time there's a set piece or a corner, you're worried, aren't you? You're worried every time the ball goes in the box.
Yeah.
So that's how it is with us. But like Adam was going to say, some of the football we've played going forward has been tremendous this season so far.
We're unbalanced at the moment. We've got probably one of the best midfielders in the Championship, if not the best.
Without doubt.
A brilliant forward line. We just need to sort the defence out. You can't have 2 out of 3 bits of a team. You need all 3.
And I think, all fair to Lampard, I think he must know that. And he's obviously been a bit frustrated in the transfer window, maybe not getting the players in that he wants to get in for whatever reason. We don't know, do we, what's going on behind the scenes. For all we know, he might have had a few bids from 3 or 4 players and he's been knocked back. We don't know. We're just guessing. We're just hitting rumours that we're hearing. But I'm sure Frank knows that, and I'm sure he'll get it right.
It's not like the money isn't there.
Yeah, the money's there.
It's fun to spend. Even if we have bought the stadium, there must be some left over to spend.
Yeah.
Surely.
I know I've been saying it, but I still expect 2 new faces. It's only 24 hours to go, but I'm still expecting 2 new faces to come in. I am. But
the thing is, Ken, now you might be right. With Sheaf going, we might get we'll get 1 in, and if we don't, we're all going to be upset. But we might get 2 in because the fact that Sheaf's going. We might see Bassette go out. We might see Bidwell go out if we do bring that centre half in. So
yeah, it could be a late night on the old,
I mean, for all we know, Sheaf been on the bench all this time because they've been working with Wrexham, trying to come to a figure.
Maybe, possibly.
You know, they don't just ring up and go, "Oh, can you have Ben Sheaf for 6.5 million, please?" It don't work like that, does it?
No, it could have been going on for a while. We don't know.
I'm worried about if Grimes gets injured, who's going to come in and take his place? Because the game plan is based a lot around Grimes, isn't it?
Grimes, yeah, definitely. He's
never been
injured.
Luckily,
he's the engine for us. He is the engine man for us. It's just like when we had Hamer, he was the one that we were feared most getting injured, didn't we? You know, we sent to sort of fall apart when Hamer goes off the pitch. Like even Sheffield United do. It seems to be the same sort of thing. But yeah, Grimes needs to stay fit, and hopefully we can keep him fit. But anyway, look, let's move on. There's loads of comments, Claudio, isn't there?
Yeah, I think Jack's been starring them, so I'll just read these out. Cam says, just as we've seen on the field over the past couple of seasons with late goals, let's hope it's replicated in this transfer window with late signings. Sky Blue Terror, 6.5 million is a good deal for Sheaf. He will be out again after a few games if he can get past the medical. Tom H, that Jamie Allen comment just made me chuckle. What was that then? I can't remember now.
It was the Dave Sports Photo said he should be playing in League 2.
Oh,
no, well, we said it was a bit harsh, didn't we? Yes.
Come on, Ken. Where are these couple of signings? Hopefully you're right.
They're on the way.
It could be 3 or 4 yet.
Get your wallet out, Ken.
Right, you've all disappeared now. Alex Robinson says, don't buy into the idea that selling Sheaf has anything to do with us needing to balance the books for the stadium purchase. If that was the case, why on earth would you then be putting in repeated high-value bids for Hughes? For me, there's clearly a method to the madness. Frank, Doug and Dean Austin have shown they're working to a plan, and we've got to trust the process that's in place. Transfers don't happen in isolation. Every move has a reason, even if we don't see the full picture. Well, that's kind of what we're saying, really. Matt SB, another CB and CM Tomas And this has been a great window, especially considering we've signed a ground. Well, yes, it would be. It could turn out to be an incredible transfer window or not, basically. Now, Jack's disappeared. At 6.5, willing to pack his bag, says Paul Garner. Jack's coming back again. Loads of messages. Ian Courts. When does the transfer window close? Is it tomorrow? Yes, it's at 7 p.m. tomorrow.
Yes.
Didn't
it used to be? It used to be 11 o'clock at night. Is that too late for people? Is that what they've bought it for?
Yeah. I don't know why. A good piece of business, but we need to strengthen the midfield as well. Our backup midfield is not strong enough. That's from Mark Friel. Dave Sports Photos says, I disagree, Jack. He's only 27. He's class championship player. Yes, injury prone, but that might not define him completely. You can't mention Alan in the same conversation. Yeah, Jack.
Well, in terms of quality, from what we've seen over Ben Sheaf since Frank Lampard's taken over, and from what we've seen of Jamie Allen, I'd actually say maybe Jamie's been the better player. I'm not a major Jamie Allen fan. I think he can come in and do a job and run around, but you can run around when you've got 10 good players on the pitch that are doing most of the work, and you running around helps. But when you're just running around like against Millwall and there were loads of other players that were not on their game, it adds nothing. So he can do a job in a good team when we need him to, but he will never hit the heights Sheaf ever did. But that's the concern. Will Sheaf ever hit the heights that Sheaf did? We don't know. We've not seen it for a year.
Yeah. It's a good time to let him go. Mini Phoenix Gaming. Bear in mind, Latty can play defensive midfield as well. I wouldn't put
he can't even play centre back. Sorry, Latty.
He's a Jamaican international.
Yeah, okay.
Food Tech says, in my opinion, Sheaf was never as fit as in this league. He had one okay season. That was Hamer that did all the magic that year. And he has no way on earth captain material. His persona was Bambi-esque. Jonah Fat Cat's drinking because he's just put, Victor Torp is my dad.
To be fair, if I'm on a cruise ship and I've paid for a drinks package, I'll be drinking as well.
Yeah. Rich T said, must be your Wi-Fi, Adam. Just in case you didn't realise.
Got there in the end.
That's what parents are for. Always putting you on the straight and narrow. On its freight. Hoping, don't worry, when you get older and have kids and stuff like that, you'll be stating the obvious as well. That's what we do as parents. That's part of our life, isn't it, Jack? Does your old man state the obvious?
Yeah, but when it would come to Wi-Fi, it'd be me helping him.
On its freight, hoping for Wolfenden rather than Hughes, especially after he's had a howler this weekend. Wow. He did the classic try to run out with the ball. Gavin Collins says, evening, all cheered up yet? Claudio Cardellino, full name there from Gavin Collins. Having a bit of banter on WhatsApp earlier. I was doing my radio host bantering where you keep people engaged by just saying stuff to get them wound up and they reply, and it worked a treat. So there you go.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Brad Collins also shipped out on loan. Yes, well all the best to Brad. You know, it's just one of those things. Is Adam using Miles' internet, says Ian Courts.
Must be.
Nick from Birmingham. We're in Club Bruges have offered 25 million for Jamie Allen.
Would it be like if Mad Frankie was a Brummie, Claudio?
No.
That was a bit of a Brummie Mad Frankie accent,
Kieran Brown says, I think Sims is class, just needs confidence. Oh, dear. M. King. Mark King, of course. It might not be Mark, but we'll call him Mark. Cheers from Canada. Taking 6.5 million for injury-prone Sheaf is a steal for the club. With that said, we have now more capital to get an upgrade and CB. Hughes or Wolfenden for me. That 6.5 million now means we have no debt. We've cleared the debt of the last 3 years, by the way.
Yeah. And of course, the wage bill's gone down as well, hasn't it? With these players being shipped out.
And hopefully, we'll get more players leave, i.e., like we say, Bassette, we think he's got his foot out the door. I'm still convinced if we get a centre back in that Bidwell could be moved on because he's clearly going to be third choice as a left back.
Yeah,
it's an interesting situation, though, isn't it, lads? Because, like I said, that 6.5 million clears that debt of 3 years that Kieran Maguire was saying. We've lost 6.5 million over the last 3 seasons. That's actually cleared that, and we've bought a football stadium.
yeah.
This is the best position we've ever been in as a club since possibly the late 60s. And that's serious.
And that's a long, long time ago. I mean,
That is a serious thing.
Remember that far back? I can't, but...
Well, yes. We're debt-ridden in the 80s. We had to keep selling players because we bought players in the early 70s. That cost
we were known as a selling club in the 80s, weren't we?
We had to. And in the 90s, we were slowly steadying the ship. And then Richardson come along with Big Ron, and they were just spending money like it was going out of fashion, buying any old junk, basically. And it carried on with Gordon Strachan, and we've never recovered. This is the first time, I would say, in over 50 years, we've got no real debt. You know what I mean? It's an interesting place to be in at the minute for a club.
And that's good for any football club, really, to have no debt, because, as we all know, 99% of the clubs have got some sort of debt of some sort, have they? You know?
15 years ago, we nearly went out of business.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic turnaround, really. So, in some ways, you've got to say, take your hat off to Doug.
Because credit due where it's due. Yeah.
Exactly. I know it would be an absolute thingy fest if we don't sign any players in that. But in some ways, the club is still in a very good position financially, which is really more important at the minute.
Yeah.
Says and Tez, a serious question. How can a player as good as Rodoni still not have a player song chant? Yeah, well, I thought we were going to do Message to You, Rudy. What happened to that? It's the most obvious one.
We're doing...
they do it now and again, but not as much as they should. They do sing it now and again, don't they?
I think Singers Corner has been poor with their songs lately. Sort your game out, Jack. Come on.
I'm in row DD. I'm not in that crew that sit right up in the top bit. Don't lumber me with them.
Why do they insist on putting sweary words in these songs as well?
We've come up with some good songs with swear words in them. Can I point you to the Hamer song? That wasn't a good one. I know it's 4 years old now, but
everyone keeps stealing our chance as well, don't
we? Could be singing it again after the international break. Anyway, let's move on to the next comment. Chair Fat Cat. Jack Rodoni was absolutely unbelievable. He beats 2-3 defenders every time he's on the ball. I love it. You just love having those players on the ball. Sakamoto, when he came on, you just love it, don't you? Really, you do. It's exciting. You get out your seat. It's what you want to see as a football fan. You just don't want the defenders dribbling.
No,
unless it's MVE. Should have been 5-2. Oxford were lucky. Poor defending lets down again. Bring Wolfenden in, says Lee Beckett. Hughes in. Hamer on loan. Over to you, Ken.
That would have been that's been a fantastic end to the transfer window, them three, wouldn't it? Claudia's get that water down, them three. I mean, what do you think of them three then, Jack? I mean, to get them three players in, that'd be fantastic, wouldn't it?
We're not going to get 2 centre halves in. We'll get one. And I feel like it will be... don't do that, Claudio. I feel like it's more likely to be Wolfenden now. Yeah, I mean, we were hearing rumours Friday night, Saturday morning. It was going to be 10 million plus 2 in add-ons, plus Jake Bidwell, plus a free ride on the bus from Hull, plus whatever else we can throw in there to sweeten the deal. And then Hughes is captain and starts for Hull. And I think that's quashed that for me. The manager keeps saying, he's 15 million, he'll be 20 million in a season's time.
Yeah.
Is he, though? Premier League defenders are being transferred for that much. He's a 21-year-old. Yes, he's got bags of potential and has already got experience at this level, but I feel like Wolfenden, who's 27, I believe, had a season in the Championship with Ipswich, had a season in the Premier League, was in and out, but still made 15 appearances in the Premier League. Is that not a better fit? What we want? We don't want a kid who's naive. We want someone with experience and organisation. I'm not saying
he's 27, isn't he? The
Yeah.
27. Yeah. Bit more experience. Adam, who would you prefer? Would you prefer an experience or would you go for the Hughes? Who would out of them two?
If I had to pick between them now, I'd go for Wolfenden. Exactly that for the experience. Yeah. And is he going to be cheaper than Hughes?
Yeah, absolutely. He won't even be 10.
No. So that's a no-brainer, really, isn't it? Hughes, as Jack was saying, the manager pricing him probably a little bit too high now. He's a decent centre back, but he's not. I mean, a world beater, is he? He's not 20 million.
No.
20 million.
And Hamer on loan?
That would be a dream, wouldn't it? If I woke up and saw that announced on the website, I'd think I was still asleep.
Hey, I would say never say never with Doug King.
Well, we've had the stadium announcement, haven't we? So that was out of the blue. So you never know.
That would be sensational.
He's clearly not happy at Sheffield United, is he?
No, he's clearly not happy.
He's
been made him captain. I'm just amazed he's still there, to be honest.
I thought he would have gone to the Premier League. Yeah. Would have gone to the Premier League yonks ago, if not straight away. I was so confused why he went to Sheffield United. Yeah. Because they were clearly going to go straight down again.
We could have a situation where both Sheffield clubs go down this year. That'd be bizarre, wouldn't it?
Right. Can you imagine that? Both Sheffield clubs in League One.
Yeah, get rid of both of them. Claudio, are you recovered from your coughing?
Yes, I think I have. Yeah, that was going on there.
Okay. Any more
comments? I've got to say thank you to everybody. Of course, you need to like and subscribe. Do your usual stuff.
Yes, do like, subscribe, please.
Also, thank you for people tuning into the aftermatch stuff we're trying to do as well. And the amount of views we've had for Kieran Maguire was sensational. So if you haven't seen it, go and listen to it. It's worth it. Purely just to hear what an expert on football finance thinks about the whole situation at Coventry.
Fantastic and very interesting interview that was. So if you haven't heard it, listen back to it.
He's a happy man because they beat Man City today, didn't they?
They did, yes. Yeah, they certainly did.
Pep Guardiola, what's he know about football? M. King, what's really crazy is Wright was left off the USA team for friendlies and he's USA's hottest striker at the moment. Pochettino must be nuts. 40, first half we looked good. Second half felt like this last season too slow. Rushworth doesn't look any better than Wilson. And also, do we have a defence set piece coach? Apparently we do. 8 points from 4 games from 4 teams. I predict we'll be in the bottom 6 by the end of the season. This deck without new signings this window maybe squeeze 6th spot at best. September will show us what the deck is about. I mean, 8 points, 2 points a game we're averaging at the minute. That's 96 points. No.
92, sort your maths.
2 points. Yeah, 92. I mean, that's promotion, pretty much.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if that happened? It's just...
well, it would be...
Well, why not? Why not? Why can't it be us? I'm fed up of not...
Why not? It's not shaping up as we expected, is it, this season? Sheffield United are down there. A couple of clubs down there. Middlesbrough doing really well. I'd never saw that coming.
Yeah, I think. Well, I've got Middlesbrough in the top 6. I think some of us had it on it. Yeah, I felt that they'll do quite well, but also I've got Sheffield United going up. So.
Oh, there we go. Just a reminder of predictions.
Yeah. So Claudio's got Sheffield United 2nd. I've got them 3rd. Vicky's got them 4th. Ken's got them 5th. Miles has said they're not going to be in the top 6. Interesting. But obviously Miles is the only one that's not put Coventry in the playoffs.
Yes. When we sign all our players tomorrow, he'll be changing that.
He backtracked. He said, if we sign more, I'll change my prediction.
We can't change them. I did suggest, I said, should we do a prediction before the season and then when the transfer window closes? And Miles was like, no, we've made it now. We've done it. So it'll be his loss when we get into the playoffs and he's got to buy us all a dinner.
We've got to stick by what we've got, yeah. The loser buys dinner for everybody.
Mark Patman says, is it Asante we need to replace because his finishing is not that good? Another striker is needed. What does the panel think? I think, now we were doing a pipe dream thing basically in our little group. And I said, wouldn't it be great if we get, say we got Hamer, I'm just saying, the Hamer comes in, or a Hamer type player comes in, he plays behind Rodoni. You got Torp and Grimes, and you have right up front on his own. To me, that would be ideal. That sort of quartet in midfield where Rodoni can just go left and right all the time. A bit of a Glenn Hoddle type role, basically. Just does what he wants. Peter Beardsley type role for those who are old enough to remember. And you ditch Asante, the other forward, because I think they'd offer you more. There's more goals. There's more goals in Torp, Rodoni, and someone like Hamer than would be with Asante and Wright on the pitch.
Yeah.
I think they would score more goals, those midfielders.
Well, you've always got to look to better. You've got to better the players you've got, in my opinion, haven't you? And Hamer's obviously better than Asante. So
he is, but and also you, as a club, we have to have better players. You can't be. There's too much sympathy, but we're a bit like, I don't know. Sometimes we're acting like we're a non-league club. Some of the fans, but we can't get rid of Billy. He's such a nice bloke. He's really nice. He signs autographs.
Yeah,
hugs. Bobby Thomas is so nice with the fans. He cuddles me. I've had selfies. I don't give a toss about the selfies and the signing the shirts and all this business. I want to win football matches, and I think sometimes you've got to take all that out of it. And I've always said this: if we go up, you can guarantee there'll be 8 players, new starters in that lineup on the first day of the season, because that's the way it is if you want to survive. But I think generally, if you could get a really good attacking midfielder in a number 10 role, you could ditch Asante and you play him basically with Rodoni, and you got Torp and Grimes. Yeah.
I mean, we can all dream of Hamer. We know realistically it might not happen, probably never happen, but you just never know. You never know in football if he's available, and we might. He'd certainly want to come back. I'm sure he would, but
I'd like to meet Frank as well. I bet.
Yeah, I bet he would. Yeah, to be honest, and I think Frank's. And that's another thing. I think Frank's a big pull as well for any player looking to further their career. And they look who's a manager, the coaching staff. They look at Frank Lampard and they think, well, surely I've got to improve if I go to a place like Coventry and play, learn my trade, if you like, under Frank Lampard. And I think,
but do you guys think we could lose Asante and change it around at the top? What do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, but providing that player is better than Asante that we bring in, but. He's a strange player, Asante, isn't he? Because he has a couple of good games, decent games, and then he does a lot of running off the ball and stuff like that. But he does tend to lose the ball a lot sometimes and gives silly passes away, doesn't he?
I think he reminds me of somebody at work with a clipboard who runs around very quickly, looking busy, and people think he's doing a lot of work, and actually he's doing nothing. And Jamie Allen, you could stick in that as well, I think, where they're doing a lot of running around and not really doing a lot, but it's energetic, and people like that, don't they? They like to see people running around.
Yeah.
I'd sooner see somebody like Matt Grimes, who doesn't run around a lot and just walks for a football game and seems to do everything right pretty much.
Yeah.
We could lose him. That's my thoughts. I don't. What you reckon, Adam?
Yeah, he does good runs and he gets the ball, but he just loses it straight away, doesn't he? And he's quite hesitant when he gets the ball. It doesn't look like he knows really what to do. He gets a bit scared on the ball, it looks like. And the defenders just surround him and nick the ball off him. So, yeah, if we lost him, I don't think we'd lose. But then again, Lampard, he rates him highly, doesn't he? In the City Unseen video the other day, he was impressed about how physically fit he was.
Yeah.
And he clearly wants to develop him, so I don't think Frank's going to drop him.
No. Aston Villa losing 3-0 at home, by the way, to Crystal Palace. Put a smile on a few people's faces. That's a late kickoff, bizarrely. It's 7 o'clock kickoff for some reason.
On a Sunday, that's a traditional time for football, isn't it?
I don't know why it's that late. I don't know why they've got a 7 o'clock.
Oh, can I... BCS... Oh, there you go. I'll read this comment out, Blues fan, but I wouldn't normally because you're so far down the table. Their keeper should have saved both Koff goals. The first was straight at the keeper. The free kick was almost down the middle. There you go. How do you get
You
on?
don't buy a ticket, you don't win the raffle.
Yeah. If
Well,
you
that's
lose,
right.
anyway, we're only entertaining you if you're in the top 6. Dave Sports. Only kidding. Thanks that you're coming on and listening. Dave Sports Photos. I've got to say, it was good though. Looking at the league table, we got, was it 5 Midland clubs in the top 7? Was it Stoke, West Brom, Blues, Leicester? I thought that's pretty good actually. I do like that. Dave Sports Photos. Adams seems to be unable to express himself. Yeah.
I think Cliche Man should dish out a yellow card for that one.
Book him.
Gavin Collins. Grimes is also twice the player he is, in my opinion. Never flustered, rarely gives away possession.
That's the point now that Ben Sheaf has left. He was club captain. Who would you give the captaincy to? Because I personally would give it to Grimes.
Well, presumably Kitchen's vice captain, isn't he? So he.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I've got this feeling that Bidwell's second in the pecking order, but obviously he doesn't get any game time. So I think that I mean it probably will go to Kitchen.
Yeah.
But in theory, the pecking order, Allen and Bidwell are both above Kitchen, I believe. So it's hard. It really is.
But Grimes seems the most obvious one, doesn't he? In my mind, I just think he sits there at the back. He can see everything. He's a good organisation at the back. He really tried, and I think he's captain material.
There's no downside. Sorry, Adam. There's no downside to having an additional captain-like presence on the pitch. If you give Grimes a captaincy, he's the only one doing the talking. You give Kitchen the captaincy and say, step up your game, you've got to do some more organisation and talking. Grimes will naturally do that anyway. Then you've got 2 of them on the pitch. So actually, giving it to Grimes might not be the best option on that basis.
Yeah.
I just think Grimes, he keeps his cool well, and he's very experienced. Kitchen seems to mouth off a bit. He loses his cool.
He does.
The way the odds mouths off to the referees. And you don't really want your captain doing that. You want him to stay cool and collected and dishing out orders.
I never understand when they give it to goalkeepers either.
No.
I find that weird to make a goalkeeper captain.
Yeah, it's very strange. But there you go. That's what happens sometimes. Some managers.
JJ Petch says, have to say this summer's transfer window has been poor. Lone keeper, which was forced due to David's injury, a left back and a right back. Loads of teams have massively spent on improving their squads. I'll tell you what could happen. If we do bring in 2 or 3 at last minute, but they're players you think, oh, they're going to go straight in, that's going to lift the fan base as well. Because I think it was a bit flat at the start of the season, and I think we talked about this on the show after the Hull game, that there was no new players on the pitch. It was still pretty much a Robins team, wasn't it? You know? And I think that makes a difference when you got new people through the door that you think you're expecting to see on the pitch, not just sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
It does feel like a bit we've stood still and everyone else has moved on.
It does, yeah. I mean, we obviously left it late again, haven't we? But I say that might not be our fault. It could be an accumulation of different things, couldn't it? Obviously, it's not planned to leave it this late all the time, but it does happen. And that depends on other clubs as well.
I think nowadays, Ken, it's like buying a house, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a chain, and you can't move until somebody else moves. So someone down the line has gone, and it's allowed somebody to buy somebody, to allow somebody to buy somebody. It works that way. And unfortunately, we're the Championship, and we're down the pecking order somewhere. You know, so we have to wait till probably somebody moves from the Premier League before we can do business.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
You watch tomorrow, League 2 and League 1, it goes bananas.
There'll be a lot of loan deals as well, I think.
Yeah. We'll be going, they've got a loan player from Chelsea, they've got a loan player from Tottenham, they've got a loan player from Man United going to, I don't know, Salford City or something, you know. Andrew Gray, remember Alan Hansen saying, who scores a goal? A player or a zone? Stop the zonal marking. We just can't do it with this group of players. They constantly make a pig's ear of it. Superfan number 1, the goalie wouldn't have seen the player move the ball. That's for the wall to see and move across. Oggy read it perfectly.
Yeah. Well, I'm just disappointed nobody, the players picked it up. I didn't notice, obviously, at the time. Did you notice, Jack? The ball being? Oh, we didn't. Fans, a lot of the fans probably didn't notice till afterwards.
We're only talking about it because he scored.
Down the far end, yeah.
You know, it's...
Yeah, if they hadn't scored, we wouldn't have noticed it, to be honest.
Serious question from Dave Sports Photo. Serious question for the panel. Is there any scenario where you think to yourself, we could do with Jamie Allen coming on? If not, what the hell is he doing here?
Oh, he doesn't like Jamie Allen, does he? Look, I think when Jamie Allen has come on, he's done well when he's come on a few occasions he's come on for us. Showed a bit of energy. And he's not, he's not the greatest player in the world, no, but he's come on and he's done a job. He does a job for us. And obviously Frank likes him. He extended his contract, didn't he? So he must have done that for a reason. So
I think it's funny though, isn't it? Because we've obviously done player evenings and we've had to interview players who have been getting pelters, and like you can guarantee if there's one next week and Jamie Allen was involved, there'd be all the fans who've been slagging him off having a photograph.
Oh yeah,
it's quite funny.
We had Jamie and Ben Sheaf actually last year at the Leamington and Warwick one, and that was a great night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won Jamie Allen's signed shirt. If you remember.
You did,
Jammy git.
Yeah. Was it match worn?
I can't confirm that. I don't know.
Does it fit you, Ken? Does it fit you?
I haven't tried it. It's in a frame.
It's bench worn. Every team knows how to beat us, says Finn. Set piece, ole ole. Salop CCFC. Got the commentary, Claudio. Wink, wink. What's that on?
You were talking about someone chipping David Seaman.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well remembered. Claudio, Thomas almost limbo to avoid the ball. It was embarrassing. Nick Kelly, Saturday was like the Coventry of old, only a 45-minute team, which is worrying, as I thought we'd moved on from the performance like that. Yes, we've got more than 40 likes now. Keep liking us, please, and subscribing.
Please, keep liking us, subscribing. It's all good for the channel, and it doesn't cost you anything unless you want to, of course, join. You can join as a member, but it is free if you want to do it.
We've got 69 likes currently, so well done, everyone. And I believe we're about 20-odd subscribers away from 2,500. So anyone that's watching on Facebook or Twitter, go over to our YouTube channel and click a subscribe, click a thumbs up, please. We'd much appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, we need an incentive for the milestone. Claudio, would you promise to do an impression if we hit 2,000?
I've done Nick from Birmingham. 69 likes, that's Ken's favourite number, of course. JJ Petch, teams who got promoted of 17 players who make a difference, we have 11. With the 5 subs rule now, you don't have to be a 90-minute player like rugby union. Certain players last 50 minutes then get subbed.
I was just going to say, Adam, I'll promise to take my hat off, but obviously you've seen, we met last week outside the ground, so you've seen me without my hat on.
We were very privileged to have seen Jack without his hat on.
Not many people do.
You're an exclusive club.
Superfan number 1, that guy who skinned Grimes down the right channel near the end. The forward blazed over the bar. Grimes had a nip at him, and if it had gone down, it would have been a penalty.
But he didn't.
Yeah, well.
Fadji would have scored, we'd have won.
Yeah, it's all ifs and buts, isn't it?
Well, people asking what happens if Grimes gets injured. Well, he rarely does. So, M. King says Latibodier was awful for Jamaica in the Gold Cup. Jonah Fatcat, who's Bermuda and Jamaica are rivals. Got my Bermuda kit on, ready to hate. Watch Lati next week.
What's this one from Cliche Man here? Cliche Man.
Vicky is top with 2 yellows. Jack is on 1. Ken is on 1 for an accumulation of low-level niggly cliches. Claudio Miles have 0. I'll donate £10 to the winners' charity at the end of the season.
He's since followed up with a comment saying that I've got another yellow, so I'm joint with Vicky. It's probably because I said if you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the raffle, when the Birmingham fan made a comment. So I'm joint top with Vicky. So is this going to be a proper rivalry then? Have we got to purposefully make cliches?
Yeah. Claudio Frost Stratton says, Claudio, you may have answered why we have made no signings debt-free. It's just a little thought, that's all.
Yeah.
You forgot the 36 mortgage on the CBS. Well, yes, but we never ever think it's like a mortgage on the house. You don't sort of think of it as a debt, do you? Because you've got
It makes
bricks and mortar.
Makes me a bit nervous that Frank must be getting a bit irritated with the lack of signings.
Yeah, I mean, well, we don't know. Like, obviously, the stories behind him. He might be knocked back by clubs. Doug might have been fully behind him and saying, "Look, you go for it," but the clubs have obviously said, "No, we're not selling." So we don't know. We don't really know, do we? What's held him back, or what the delay's been?
He feels backed, and he feels like the money's there, but it's just been a bit of a look. Then that's the case.
Could be the clubs. Could be Doug saying, "Look, no, I'm not spending," but it could be it could be the selling club don't really want to sell. So be interesting.
I think more players push a move nowadays, don't they? Like Wolfenden obviously knows he's not getting picked, so he just wants to go and play football.
He's told him he wants to move, hasn't he? Now,
which is why Fads left, which is why Matty Godden left. Really,
yeah,
they wanted to play
game time. Yeah.
Gavin Spicer, centre back now, centre midfield, forward required. Hughes 24 hours for the club.
Yeah, massive 24 hours.
My boss is on holiday for 2 weeks, so I'll be my phone's going to get a hammering tomorrow.
Not doing much work then for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, Mark Rainbow, even though I'm a bit late joining the fun tonight, I can't imagine our transfer window activity is done. It'll be exciting watching my phone for updates tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
I'll be in Greece tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Doing things from afar.
Michael Moore. It's not the famous Michael Moore, is it? The American television guy. Is he still alive, Michael Moore? I think he is, isn't he?
Is that a segue for another impression?
No, I can't do it. It's really good. He used to, anyway. You've got to be of a certain age to remember him. Does Hamus have a place in Leamington? I think he still does.
I think he does, yeah. He's still seen.
Obviously, if Hamer comes in, we play 4-5-1. Well, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
Or does, silly question, does Hamer just get deployed on the wing like he was at Sheffield United? Do we just deploy him in the right wing instead of Asante?
I just don't think he's not a winger, is he? You got to play.
No, I don't see him as a winger.
No, but Sheffield United have been playing him there for 2 years, and he's still doing all right, isn't he?
Yeah.
Does he drift into the middle quite a lot, though?
Yeah. Mark Rainbow, given that we've only conceded set play goals, that points to team defending rather than just the back line. Having said that, we still need at least one new centre half. Well, we do, because those two get injured. You got Latty and Bidwell. We haven't really got centre halves or central defenders, what I'd class as true central defenders. M. King Michael Moore probably still attends Cov matches when he isn't playing. Same day at Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Gavin Spicer. Hamer, best player in the Championship, fat. He will only go to Premier League or abroad. He's not coming back to Cov, unfortunately.
Well, I'm just surprised he hasn't been gone to the Premier League already.
Well,
Hamer is in advanced talks with PSV.
Oh.
He was at the Dutch GP today, apparently. Was he?
Well, that'd be a nice move for him, wouldn't it?
It'd be a great move. Salop CCFC. I'm trying to see what it refers to. August 2024, Stoke 1, Coventry 0, Coventry 3, Oxford 2, Bristol City 1, Coventry
Just
1.
comparing last season's results.
Oh, right. Thanks for your views on Asante. He's a nice guy, but like you say, Claudio, nice guys don't win matches. I'm just thinking a good support player with Haji White. Well, I did say Josh Sargent as well. I mean, that would be amazing if that ever happened.
Hasn't he gone somewhere already, Josh?
No, he's still banging him in for Norwich.
Can we buy him before we have to face him?
Yeah. Well, hopefully he'll be gone before we do face him. Yeah.
Terrified of him against our defence.
Pagagon says, Derby, you were saying Asante was brilliant. Now you're saying he's not the best. Make your mind up, guys. Well, he was brilliant against Derby.
Yeah.
But that's it needs to be like that all the time. That's the truth.
He's not brilliant every game. And that's the problem we've got these players. They're playing in that league because they're not consistent enough. The consistent players play at a high level, don't they?
And Kevin Quinn says SOTV. Yes,
Mm.
I went to their training ground once. We were doing a job. I've got a photograph of me outside their training ground with Cov City hat.
Doing what?
On balustrade and stuff. And they're training, but I was stood outside with a big, massive sign with SOTV on it, and Cov City hat on outside the, where it says "Welcome to Aston Villa Training Ground."
Oh, yeah.
What a big child. Ask J CCFC says Claudia's spot on. I presume it's talking about. I can't remember what I was talking about now. Superfandom 1. Paul Hawksby always talks about a transfer that acts as a laxative to the transfer market. Gavin Collins. Are we the Tottenham of the Championship? Won't pay the going rate for players and missing out as they leave it until the last minute. Thoughts?
Well, Daniel Levy does seem a little bit like that, doesn't he? He don't like partying with his money, does he? But
have you guys watched Sunderland Till I Die, the very first one?
No, I haven't.
Where they're doing the transfer window with Will Grigg. Do you remember it, Adam? Where it is ridiculous. If anyone's seen it, it's worth watching just for that episode where they're just sitting around desks waiting for something to happen elsewhere.
It was
actually approach him and do the deal.
It was the same in the Blues documentary about Birmingham. They were signing Chase Mansfield, and there was a bit where they were calling up, and it was half an hour to go, I think, and they signed it with half an hour to go over the phone.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It looks so stressful. And in the end, a bit like what we might have to do, Sunderland went, "Oh yeah, we'll give him the 4 million," because they were desperate to sign him, and he was absolutely awful for them.
I wonder if Doug King will say that tomorrow, say, look, give Cole what they want. We'll have him. We'll want him.
Yeah. Colin Bramfield, did you see the interview with Oxford player after the game? They asked him about moving the ball and did he cheat? He said, yes, but if you get away with it, why not?
I've always rated Radigan. I've always thought we should go in for him the last few seasons. He's got a bit about him.
Yeah.
Sunderland at home last year, a different Jamie Allen.
Yeah, he did play well. But again, it's consistency that gets you places, isn't it? You've got to do it week in, week out.
Lee Lishton says, lots of potential top 6 signings, players for good money this week, all catching us up. Players we could let go to allow fresh players in. Sims, Bidwell, Allen, Abiku, Bassett, Latti, maybe Eccles, Asante, blimey.
Well, there's a few there, isn't there?
That's a lot of contracts to sort out in 24 hours.
I can't see all of them going, but
bit of a full Monty reference coming up here. Wango says, it's okay, Jack. You can leave your hat on. Cliche Man says, to be sir, Jack, the prize will go to the fewest yellows and reds. So in effect, bottom of the league, that makes sense. So currently Miles and Claudio are winning.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I don't know why I thought it'd be the most yellows, it sounds backwards. No, that's fair enough.
Does Wolfenden get in the starting 11 if he comes in? If why would he move? Well, yeah, because he wants to play, doesn't he? So he'd be surely.
They want to play straight away.
It'd be part of the deal, wouldn't it, if he was to move?
Yeah. It's just who you drop. Who do you drop? Do you drop Kitchen or do you drop Thomas? We all have our different opinions on that, don't we?
4 weeks ago, I'd have said, "Oh, you drop Kitchen, no problem," because Bobby's the better player. But it's the last 4 games have proved otherwise. I think Bobby's the one that would miss out, especially after Oxford disaster class.
It's just isn't he?
Would you say? Who would you say? Claudio, Kitchen or Thomas?
Oh, it doesn't matter for me which one.
If you had to pick one, if I had to push you.
Okay, well, if I'm Frank Lampard, Wolfenden comes in, I would drop Bobby Thomas.
Oh, okay, Adam?
Probably, yeah. Probably Bobby Thomas. It's just prone to a mistake too many times.
Yeah, and I'm a bit like Jack. I was going for Kitchen originally, but I think over the last few weeks, Bobby Thomas has made. I know he scores goals for us sometimes as well. He's proud to too many mistakes.
But I don't think we need goals from him. We needed goals from him last season, but I think our form has improved a bit. So I don't think we need goals from him anymore.
No, we don't really. Not at the moment, anyway.
I think Kitchen's better on the board as well. His distribution's better, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
But there's not much to choose between either of them.
But a deciding factor might be if Kitchen gets the armband permanently.
Yes.
You're less likely to drop your captain.
That sort of guarantees him his place, doesn't it?
So Douglas said he will try and get Frank a player or players to put the icing on the cake. What does the panel think the icing on the cake would be?
Promotion.
I suppose we could discuss that then. So we're looking at players, aren't we, Ken?
Ice on the cake for me would be Hamer.
Wow.
Okay, what about the realistic icing that's on the cake?
Well, realistic, Hughes would be good. Hughes, a centre half, and maybe, a forward on loan. 2 players coming in. I mean, obviously, someone like Hamer would be a massive bonus. Although I don't think that's going to happen. But that would be, if you ask me, that would be the icing on the cake.
I'd quite like to see Sims go somewhere that he can play better, really.
Well, you've picked your night because Vicky's not here to defend him.
Seriously.
What level would you say? League One? Against
Millwall, when he got the ball, it genuinely made me laugh some of the times when he got the ball. It was comedic. I like the lad. He had that period, obviously, a couple of seasons ago where he was scoring bangers for us. And he just needs a move, I'd say, maybe lower half Championship League One at the moment. Just so he can get the ball rolling again. He seems to have stalled a bit. Yeah. And then if we can offload him somewhere and get someone in to replace him, a quality forward to go with Hadji. I mean,
he's quite a high earner at the club as well, isn't he? So
the question is, and Adam sort of touched on it there, if you loan somebody out, would you miss them? So like with Bassette, would you miss him?
No.
We've not seen much of him, have we? So not much.
So he's going. He's got to be going.
Yeah, because we haven't really seen. We've hardly seen him, haven't we? So
it's a loan to buy, I think.
Ellis Sims, even yesterday when we could have done with a winner, he didn't go 2 up top, did he?
No.
He's not. So to me, we're not going to miss him because he doesn't play him. He's not interested in playing him. So if he did go out on loan, these are players we're not going to really miss in terms of, would they be anywhere? I mean, he's near the starting lineup, but he's not, though, is he?
For me, what did it for me? That's that back in that semi-final, those 2 semi-finals against Sunderland. He never took part in any of them games, and we needed a goal in that second game, didn't we? I thought he would have come on at some stage, but he never. And it's very surprising that he didn't. But
when I see Derby signing Brereton Diaz, who's a good player, I'm thinking, well, that's somebody who would add value to our squad, that type of player.
Yeah.
If you've got a choice between Brereton Diaz and Sims, it's not about just the goals, it's what you bring to the game as well. I think that'd be better value. I don't know. It's I mean, personally, I think we obviously need centre-backs, and we need 2. Because we've got too many left-sided defenders. One of them's got to go, whether it's Bidwell or Jada Silva. And I reckon it's going to be Bidwell because he doesn't start. Jada Silva's the choice.
He might surprise us both and bring the Ipswich guy and Charlie Hughes in.
Nah.
How about that?
I'll see it myself.
Can you imagine that?
Those are the 2 new starting centre-backs.
That'll be a surprise for everybody, wouldn't it?
Doug just goes, I've bought you the stadium. I've got you 2 centre-backs.
I've got you 1. I've got you 2.
Got you 2. And tell you what, I've got you Josh Sargent as well. The lads on Sky Blue Fans TV reckon they'd love to have Hamer back. I've got him as well for you.
I got him on loan to start with, but with a view to signing him.
Yeah.
Claudio, if you said if we signed Josh Sargent, you'd do the show in your pants. What if we signed 2 centre-backs and Sargent and Hamer? What would you do then?
I'll do the show in your pants. So, you know, but I mean, Dan says here's Hamer's in talks with PSV. He could be, but I'm just saying that's what we need. I think we need to just. I think he's got to allow Frank Lampard to get more of his players in. We need to move away from the squad of Mark Robbins. There's too many here still, and we've only got so many windows. Only here for 2.5-year contracts.
Yeah.
Before you know it, the windows are all gone, and he's left. And we're still left with half a squad that was here when Robbins was here.
Yeah.
So I really think that's what needs to happen. Mark King's put, would you do an impression of Lady Godiva if this happens?
We'll find you a horse.
Yeah. Sorry, Russell Ward says, what's all your thoughts? Do you think we'll sign players or Doug will keep the money towards the stadium? No, I think he'll get players in. I think the stadium thing it's a different issue, that money.
Surely,
I think
if we go without any signings now, it's going to be so disappointing, isn't it? The fan base will be a bit demoralised and
very, very demoralised.
The highs of the stadium purchase and that brilliant day, it would just be very disappointing.
Yeah. You don't want another Casey Palmer scenario where we were just it wasn't a massive loss, but at the time it felt like it because we're thinking,
we had injuries, didn't we, at the time as well? So we weren't.
Yeah. So, Superfan says he would do the show in Jamie Allen's green bib.
Can I? Sorry, can I just? I'm glad here. My cat. You mean this one? This one here.
That
one. So we're on about players coming in. We've used 21 players so far. That's without using Norman Bassette, who's obviously on his way out. Dovin, who may feature in the second half of the season. Josh Eccles and Joel Attabodiere, who are both injured and will feature at some point during the season. And even the youngsters of Callum Perry and Justin Abikwu, who are potentially breaking through. So we've got 6 or 7 players that still potentially could play for us, and we want more. So we could be talking about 30 players for us this season.
Yeah, but some of those are going to drop down to the 23s. They've got to.
Well, yeah, Abikwu and Perry won't play much of a role at all. Bassette's obviously off. Dovin, we've just had to deal with a goalkeeper situation, haven't we? That's why we brought someone else in. So, and thank God that Collins has gone. So, yeah, I'm just thinking we've got a big squad still. We're all saying we haven't got any depth, and I agree. We don't have the depth. We have the physical numbers, but just because you're signed to a club and you run around a bit doesn't mean you're good enough to potentially get into the playoffs of the Championship.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see, won't we? I suppose you just don't know, do you? We don't know what's going to go.
Usually, there's 2 coming in. Can you do know?
Yeah, I'd like to think. I still think there's going to be 2. I honestly do. I know we're leaving it late. I know the clock's ticking, and it could be like 6 o'clock tomorrow night.
Paragon says Sky says it's subject to medical tomorrow. What happens if he fails a medical?
Well,
he's on the bench now, so the chances are he's fine. It's not like he's had an ACL in the past or anything like that. He's just had niggly injuries, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And it might be a great move for Ben as well, resurrect his career in a way, because he's not starting, so it's not helping.
No, he wouldn't get the team at the moment, would he?
No, and you're not going to get match fit sat on the bench either, are you? So he needs games.
We're lucky that Wrexham don't really care how much money they spend, it looks like.
Yeah.
Throwing it around like no one's business. So if it was another buying him, we'd have got a lower fee probably. Yeah,
Dan says we need Hughes and Wolfenden tomorrow. Kitchen Thomas can't do so much damage from the bench.
2 coming in there, says Dan.
Yeah. Who at Chelsea fills our needs given our connections with them? Well, I don't think M. King that just hasn't happened with Chelsea at all. With Frank Lampard. Looks like Sheaf has been sold then to Wrexham for 6.5 million, says Mike Dudley. Yes, we're covering that. Gavin Spicer, correct, Claudia. Diaz was a very good Championship player. Our recruitment team are sleeping.
Well, we don't know. We don't know whether they did, but you don't know, do you? It might be wages situation. They might not. We don't pay the best wages, do we? That's the problem.
How are Derby doing it, Ken? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't honestly know.
They've signed a lot of players. This
13. Burton Diaz is their 13th signing. We've signed 3.
They may have some investment. Maybe they've got some investment coming. Somebody's backing them.
Oh.
But they've got to be very careful, haven't they? With the money situation.
I find it odd, unless he's taking the risk, isn't he? By the sounds of things.
Yeah.
Mark Patman, I will get some sleep tonight, but I will be dreaming of buying Josh Sargent off Norwich. Icing on the cake, says Food Tech, would be Wolfenden, Ipswich, Josh Brownhill, Burnley, Josh Sargent from Norwich. Auto promotion sorted. The end. Gavin Collins. If there's no signings at this stage, it would be totally unacceptable for the fan base, and the excuse of we didn't have enough time just won't wash. There have been a couple of windows to do business in this summer, don't forget. It's true. Sex and Tech says, Ken is the chief negotiator.
I wish I was.
Do you know what? Some of the stuff Ken comes out with, I just think... I'm not sure, but this is the man that said we beat Manchester United 4-3 at Wembley. I can't. Everything he says, I have to believe it now.
Sometimes I'm only passing information on received.
Okay.
Mark Rainbow says we only used 23 players last season. Haven't less used 30 players already this season. Ken, if you're wrong. Finn says, you're doing Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh.
Dan says, does Sims leave tomorrow? I'll be very surprised, but with our club, you never know.
Well, somebody might come in for him. Or he might go out on loan somewhere.
Van Ivek, how do you say surname? I still can't say it. MVE. Will he go for 10 million, or was that stalled? I'm not sure. I think
that's gone a bit quiet now, hasn't it? That deal with Wolfsburg. Haven't they signed somebody else instead?
I think so. Yeah. How are we feeling about Rushworth? Says Madman 007. I'm glad we didn't spend the room and money we bid for him. Loan works well to cover Dovin. I think you're right. I think in some ways, because we wanted to spend 5 million, we've probably done ourselves a favour by having him on loan and taking a proper look at him. But Dovin was a slow starter, wasn't he, lads, as well? So, yeah.
He was. So I think it'll improve Rushworth as the season goes on. He's certainly an upgrade to Collins.
Can I add to that question?
You got some stats, haven't you, Jack?
I'll come back to that in a sec. With the goalkeeper, we seem to get these goalkeepers in that seem decent. They've got a good record elsewhere. Like Collins had a fantastic record at Barnsley, nearly got promoted, and even had a good save percentage in his first year with us. I mean, looking back at that Wolves game, he was fantastic that day. But do you think that our goalkeeping coach and coaches aren't that good? Because Aled was brought in, obviously, with Oggy leaving after his 400 years service at the club. Aled was brought in with potentially other coaches that we don't really know anything about them. And all of our goalkeepers have one good year and that's it. And then they either get injured or they move on or they go down the pan. I'm pretty sure every single year for the past something like 13 years, we've had a different main starter goalkeeper every single year. That's what it feels like. Kieran Westwood was the last goalkeeper I can think of that was regular for our club, and for 3 years, he was 4 years, however long he was here, was our goalkeeper until eventually he went on to bigger and better things. So is this coaching? Are we getting good goalkeepers and not looking after them very well? Is that the problem?
Maybe. We've got a goalkeeping coach, haven't we?
Well, yeah, Aled Williams, but at no point since he's come into the club have I gone, wow, the goalie's really good.
I was comfortable with Dovin, very comfortable. And if he didn't get injured, he'd still be number one, wouldn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. And it was very unfortunate for Oliver, but it still doesn't change the fact we've got a new keeper. It's a new year, new keeper. Simple. And it's happened for so many years now. We're doing something wrong, surely.
Yeah, because even when going back League Two, we had 3 keepers that season, didn't we? I think
We did.
It's been a weird. It has been strange that we've not had a regular keeper. It's just been there for years, basically.
And especially with all the changes in the coaching room.
But the bizarre thing is, majority of the time, it's Ben Wilson who keeps coming into as a number 2, keeps replacing number 1 and staying as number 1 for a while. Which is so. Why don't you just make him your number 1 and stick with him and make him a better keeper?
Yeah,
it's
as if Ben Wilson don't mind being number 2. Maybe, I don't know, but I can't see that. Can you? You'd want to play if you surely.
I think he's very settled here now, though. Very settled, and obviously he's just signed a new 2-year contract, so we've still got him 2 more years.
Yeah. Even so, I'd still want to be. I'd want to be number 1. Wouldn't you? That'd be your ambition to be number 1, surely.
And Ben's not really dropped that many clangers, has he? I can remember. Has he? Am I just out of sight, out of mind? Maybe.
Really. I think with a goalkeeper, when you make a mistake, everybody notices it, don't they? Player can make a mistake and get away with it. Goalkeeper, you're in the spotlight straight away.
I'll start, Claudio. I think he could have saved Luton's only goal in the playoff final loss.
Possibly.
Eventually cost us promotion, that.
Yeah, okay.
We can all look back, can't we, at mistakes? It probably has got a few mistakes, but even the best keepers in the world make mistakes. I mean, look at that Man United keeper. He's awful, isn't he? I don't know how he get out.
He looks like somebody pretending to be a goalkeeper at
against
times.
Grimsby. Against Grimsby, he was awful.
It's like, lads, did anybody ring up Reg? He's meant to be playing in goal today. I'll do it.
And he's still getting picked as number 1.
It's bizarre.
But to be fair, when he helped get Inter Milan to the Champions League final and had a fantastic run and a great game against Man City even. He was brilliant.
Well, Man United is not. It's rubbish.
Some of his mistakes were laughable. I couldn't believe it.
He was signed for his distribution, if I remember rightly, not necessarily a shot.
Yeah, I think it was distribution.
But if you're a keeper, you got to stop shots, haven't you? It's your job.
Yeah.
That's what Ben Wilson is. He's a good shot stopper. He's got good reflexes.
Yeah. So obviously the jokes are coming in. Rumour has it Wrexham deals off because Sheaf pulled his hamstring getting on the medical table. There's also sprained his wrist signing the contract. Chelsea connection is a red herring, says Mark Rainbow. It's not Frank doing the recruitment. That's true.
But he'll have a say in it, surely, Frank.
They just say what sort of players they're looking for, and they go looking for them. I don't think they necessarily go to Chelsea.
Then Frank will say yeah or no, won't he? He'd probably have the final decision.
I believe that Frank identifies the positions that we need filling. The recruitment team do all the work and bring the choices back, and then Frank would then say, all right, you give me 5 choices. This is my first choice. That's my second. That's my third. I think that's how it works. And then the business end of team will go through in that order. So he doesn't get a say on who he wants, but then from a short list, he'll then get his say of his priority list. That's
how we do our recruitment on Sky Blue Fans TV, isn't it, Ken? Because we're looking for somebody to do stats, and Jack was our 4th choice. So what are your stats, Jack?
What are your stats, Jack? Go on.
Well, thank you for segueing me in so nicely there, Claudio. I haven't got a lot today, I'll be honest. I haven't really had time. I can do some more while the international break goes on. I talked about getting to 10 points on Thursday's show, and obviously we haven't managed that. But we've got 8. 8's still very good. Like you said earlier, 2 points per game. And it's taken us 4 championship games to reach 8 points. Last year, to reach 8 points, it took us 8 games. So we're double as quick so far. The season before, 23-24, it took us 8 games again to get to 8 points. In 22-23, it took us 11 games to get to 8 points. And that was, Sunderland away, where we drew 1-1 and then 4 losses in a row in the league. And that's when we played Bristol City at home in Burton. So that wasn't a very good start again. 21-22 was when we moved back to the CBS, the fans, back after COVID. That was only 4 games, and that was 9 points because we'd won 3, lost 1. And the loss was away at Barnsley, and Gyökeres missed a penalty in the 99th minute or whatever it was. So again, four games to get to the same point. And the previous season in 2021, it took us 9 games to get to 8 points. That was our first season in the Championship, so can be forgiven a little bit. But after that 9 games, it was then 2 more losses before we actually started picking up a good streak. So since we've returned to the Championship, this is our joint best start.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's a positive note, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic. Let me just do a few of the things that are going on that people need to know. Home game parking, and our next game, of course, is not till Norwich. It's our next game. That's after the international break. But if you're looking for home game parking, then Big Parking is the place to go to, coventryparking.co.uk. And away day travel, Big Travel provide the coaches, ccfctravel.co.uk. They'll have all the games on there. They put coaches onto all the away games. And of course, a very special evening we've got lined up in September. David Speedie, it's only £10. It's Friday, the 26th September. David Speedie, it's £10 a ticket. It's at the Walsgrave Working Men's Club. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of stories Speedy will have to tell you. And that's going to be quite a popular night. We are hosting that evening. It's going to be a good night. We'll have a raffle and we'll have a quiz. And we'll have loads of stories, I'm sure, from David Speedie on the night. It's only a tenner, so it should be a good night. Good night had by all there. So, and also, I've got a couple of pictures to show you. There's Miles and co. Tom Grennan was at the CBS the other night, and they're all out. A few familiar faces there. They're all watching Tom Grennan at the CBS. I'm not sure if they had VIP tickets, but they're all there. And it was a very good night by all accounts. So there you go. Okay, Claudio, any more messages to wrap up on? Because we're getting on a bit now.
Sorry, before you do one, I've just read Emi Martinez is going to Man United, so that'll sort their goalkeeping issues out.
Oh, okay, right.
So there you go. They obviously just tuned in and thought those lads are talking sense. We need to get Reg out of goal for Man United and get a proper one in.
There was whispers of Roma going to City as well, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Wolfenden has spent his whole life in the southeast, according to Dan. I fear he goes to Watford for family reasons. We're not too far away. Anyone from Grimsby Town we should look into? After all, they did knock Man United out of the League Cup.
Oh, Pim played for Exeter when we won the League Two playoff final, didn't he?
Yeah, and he looked like a good player now, doesn't it? That's what's funny. He looks so unfit, I thought. It's hilarious.
And one of their goal scorers was Charles Van Nam, who was actually loaned to us in 2017 when we got relegated to League Two. And I remember him being really poor then. So,
gosh.
Just a random fact.
I remember we all expected Chelsea loans coming in when Frank arrived. I think some did, David, didn't they? It's just not.
Yeah.
Finn says, we may as well spend big on what we need before we lose our top players, Haji Rudy. Go for it. Never been a better time. I mean, it plucked out Haji Wright for 7-8 million, wherever it was. No one expected that. We're linked with Bovine. I thought it said Bovine. I thought what's going on there. But he's having a medical at Mainz, as you say, in Germany. What does the panel think the reason for the increase in goal scoring is? Should we briefly do that and wrap the show up?
Yeah, I just think the way. Yeah, I'll give my answer for that. I just think the way they're playing more intense this year. We've got a hell of a lot of attack flair players, haven't we? That we know going forward will cause any team any problem. And I just think Frank's trying to get the best out of them, and at the moment it's working. So, yeah, we are conceding as well, but we do look like scoring goals in every game. So, and goals are important. They win your games, obviously, and it's exciting, isn't it? Exciting time, I think, for the fans as well, because it's a good way to play.
I think it's changed the mindset of the midfielders as well.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is where Sheaf doesn't fit into the system.
Yeah, Sheaf and Grimes are very, very similar players, aren't they?
And I said before the season started, I felt Torp was going to come in because that's what we need. You need the way we're playing it. He wants players on the pitch who can come in and score goals, and they've made a difference. Rudoni, Torp, it's made a massive difference to how we get the goals. It's because it's not just the front line, is it? As that's been proven last season. So I think that's why we're getting more goals, basically.
Yeah.
I think Grimes is so important, isn't he? He guards the defence and gives midfielders the freedom to go forward and do what they want, basically. It's just the speed of the passing, the triangles that we do, and the quality of the passing. It's great. It's just, as I say, a bit predictable, pulling it back and crossing it. Maybe try things different. And the lack of injuries as well. I think Hadji was carrying an injury, wasn't he, for a lot of last season. Seems to have gone over that now.
Well, that's it. You know, fingers crossed we don't get any. You need a little bit of luck sometimes, and then you need to stay clear of injuries, because as soon as you start getting injuries to key players like Hadji and people like that, then obviously the team suffers, doesn't it? And if you haven't got an adequate replacement, which we didn't have really, did we? Then you're going to struggle. So,
and I think Milan Van Owick is a massive part of the attack.
Yeah, definitely.
All the time.
And it'll be a great bone if he does stay. He does stay in the next 24 hours. Hopefully, there was rumours of him going, but if he stays up, that'll be a massive boost for us.
I was terrified of him, the prospect of him leaving. I'm so glad. It looks like he's staying. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Because when Kane Kessler-Hayden came on against Millwall, he didn't look great, did he?
No, but he did look good in pre-season.
He did.
KKH. So you might have to give him a bit of time to get his feet under the table a little bit. But
maybe it was just the fact that it was his first full game. Full season.
Yeah. So it will be interesting. Claudia, any more?
Jack, any reason why we?
Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of things, really, isn't it? It's a settled squad. It's Lampard's had a pre-season. I think the team named itself for the first game, especially like we said, the midfield and the front line. It named itself essentially. I know we've had Asante come in for Sakamoto's injury, but it is just the familiarity of everyone that's been there for at least 6 months now. It's the fact that Frank's had a pre-season with his coaching staff, and they've clearly gone through the motions quite well. We all said we had a crap pre-season, but we've had a decent start, and the tempo's just gone up. The tempo's a massive thing because we can play slowly and work forwards, but teams can then settle and get back. It's now it's still like a tiki-taka type, but it's fast-paced. It's counter-attacking. It's counter-tiki-tacking, if that's a thing, which is...
It is now.
It can be now, and if anyone uses that, you've heard it here first on Sky Blue Fans TV. So, yeah, I think the tempo is massive. It's the combination of Grimes and Torp with the defensive and aggressive. That's what we had with Sheaf and Hamer. We've got that again now. Fingers crossed for no injuries.
Okay. Right. Okay, let's wrap it up then. Claudia, you got any news on the your podcast?
Oh yes, I'm doing one this week with an a former player.
Okay, you going to name him?
It's from the 80s.
Okay. Oh, great.
From the 80s, and he went to Nottingham Forest. So there you go.
Ian Butterworth.
That's well, it might be. It might be the other one.
Oh.
Ralph Wiggins says, I agree with your point about certain players playing well at the times, but what really frustrates me is when players, i.e. Asante and Mason Clark, are playing crap. Frank doesn't bring the subs on. Paul Stratton says, if we can manage to sort our defence out tomorrow, we'll be for a great season. And let's hope, Mick Kelly says, let's hope the next show is an interesting one. PUSB. Well, hopefully we're back Thursday. Are we going to do a quiz night? Should we do a quiz Thursday?
Yeah, international break, of course. I think we've got CJ coming on as well because he'd be heading out to watch the England game. So I spoke to him on Saturday, the Oxford game. He's going to come on and give us his view about Coventry City and a bit about England as well because obviously it's an international break. We'll have a quiz, yeah. We'll have a quiz and we'll keep you entertained somehow, won't we?
I think Miles is away, so I might present that one.
Yes. So
Are you on, Jack, Thursday?
I don't see why not right now.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll be about because I'm on earlies this week, so that's not too bad. So let's look forward to that. Okay, so that's it then. We'll 24 hours to go before the curtain closes on the transfer deadline. Will it be 1, 2, or 3 for DK? I'm going for 2. So we'll see. So thanks very much, everybody, for coming.
5. I'm going for 5 coming in.
5.
You heard it here first. 5 players are coming in tomorrow.
5.
Big ones.
Well,
5 massive
okay, Jack,
players.
how many? 1, 2, or 3, or 5?
One for me.
Adam?
I think 1 as well. Yeah, centre half.
5.
I'm
Heard it
5.
here
Well,
first.
I'm not sure about 5, but I'm sticking with my 2. I'm quite confident. So anyway, look.
If I was a Leicester fan, that would be 6, but it's 5.
Okay, right. Thanks very much, Jack, for coming on, as always.
No worries.
Thank you, Claudio, for your small input. And thank you, Adam. Thanks for coming on. Sorry about the sound issues you had earlier, but
No, mate, it's been a pleasure.
We got there.
When I next come on, I'll know what to do now.
Yes, exactly.
I'll tell you what.
Mark
We
Rainbow.
could do something if something happens tomorrow. Amazing.
Something dramatic happens, we could do an emergency show. Yes. Yeah. All right. So, but we'll keep you informed. Whatever happens, stay tuned. So we'll keep you informed by our social media channels of any interesting things that happen. 7 o'clock's the deadline, isn't it? So stay tuned. You might have to wait right till about 10 to 7 before you hear our news. So it might go right to the wire. You never know. So anyway, thanks for joining, everybody. Thanks for all your comments. Sorry if we didn't get to read them out. There's been so many. We've had a lot to talk about, obviously, as well. And best of luck to Ben Sheaf as well at Wrexham if he does go and pass his medical tomorrow, because he has been a good servant and club captain for us. So, and thanks very much for the 6.5 million Wrexham. Goes handily towards a new player, hopefully, for tomorrow. That's it. See you Thursday then. If not, it might be an emergency show. If we get anything interesting, we'll let you know. Big play up Sky Blues then. Good night.
Play up Sky Blues.
Good night.
Sky Blue Fans TV, for the fans, by the fans.